Welcome back to the show. We got a great one lined up for you today. What's going on with those Ethereum spot ETFs? Uh-oh, you're going to like it. We're in a perpetual state of crisis, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you that. And how about this? We're going to talk about this too, the possibility that there was another second shooter or even more. We're going to talk about that today in the Freedom Zone, obviously. How about Ripple, Robinhood, XRP, and the RLUSD? How about somebody roll that beautiful intro?
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digitalperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $2.46 trillion market cap for crypto. You're going to love these numbers. The market is up 1.8%, 63,800 plus for Bitcoin, 3,400 plus now for Ethereum, 112 billion plus market cap for Tether, and 33 billion plus market cap for USDC. XRP is 55 cents. It's actually 56 cents on Fiat Link. We're up 29% on the 7-day, 5.8 of that on the 24-hour, ladies and gentlemen. How about that? That is pretty damn impressive. Something's going on. Something's happening here. Y'all know what it is. Yeah. You only know if you know. 53 to 57 cent is where we're ranging right now. Again, 5.5% on the 24-hour, 5.8. And then 29% up on the 7-day. Yeah, who's the Mufasa? We love it. And then let me start right here because we got trouble coming, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Daniela Cambone for this interview with Tavi Costa here, who predicts the equity market could face an economic shock. Take a listen.
How far away are we from that domino falling in your view?
I think we're very close. I'll be shocked if we don't see anything in 6 to 9 months, if not even shorter. Elections is coming up. There's so many uncertainties on how things are going to play out here. You know, you have, in my view, a total lack of discipline by both parties when it comes to the fiscal issue. I believe there's the risk for 10-year yields to rise a lot further depending on who becomes elected, which I'm not sure I really want to get into my views on that because people get very political on these things. But I do see that the lack of discipline, fiscally speaking, is also going to drive the cost of debt a lot higher, especially in the long end of the curve. And, you know, I don't know. That seems to be Bank of England was such an important moment in history that we saw back in 2022 when they cut taxes of unfunded liabilities, and we had a huge move of the UK yields basically surged to levels we've never seen historically. I think this is sort of the risk for a lot of developed economies, and the U.S. is not is not immune from that risk either. So I believe that volatility is going to have to follow along. And by the way, if you look at the asset classes, in my career, the only times we've seen this sort of calm before the storm is usually obviously prior to 2007 or 2019 or 1999 and so forth. I mean, every asset class has suppression of volatility: oil, the dollar, the equity markets, and so I think things are starting to move. I mean, watch what's happening with small caps. I mean, small caps are not doing very well, and that's 2/3 of the labor market if you think about it. So that's the real economy.
There you have it right there. It's not a good look, but you know what? We did just get a pro-crypto presidential ticket. If you haven't watched my first video this morning, please go watch that video. The naming of J.D. Vance as the vice presidential pick is huge for crypto. No question about it. And then look at this as Larry Fink comes back out and shows everyone where it points everyone to true north on the compass, ladies and gentlemen. I saw Digital Asset Investor said something of the nature in a tweet yesterday. They were pushing everybody into a corral or something of that nature, and it's so spot on. Larry Fink is leading all of us into Bitcoin because I believe he knows what Tavi Costa knows, the gentleman that I just played you, right? That there's a collapse coming, and Tavi Costa believes it's in the 6 and 9 month range. And if that's true, No wonder Larry Fink's pushing everybody into Bitcoin. No wonder he's done the work and he feels it's digital gold now, because that's going to be the high ground for himself and his clients during this period of a correction or collapse. And watch what happens during that time period. They're going to tokenize everything. Write that down.
Now, I know you have been a leader in willing to embrace crypto. You have made it so that people can be in Bitcoin. We hear that you are thinking about Ethereum. These are incredible things. Now, BlackRock is not known as a gunslinger by any means, so you obviously must believe that this maybe is an alternative. Is this an alternative in order to be able, because of a deficit, maybe something long-term people should have?
Absolutely. As you know, I was a skeptic.
Yes.
I was a proud skeptic. And I studied it, learned about it, and I came away saying, okay, my opinion 5 years ago was wrong. Here's my opinion today. This is what I believe in today. I believe the opportunity today. I believe Bitcoin is legitimate. I'm not trying to say there's not misuses like everything else, but it is a legitimate financial instrument that allows you to have maybe uncorrelated, non-correlated type of returns. I believe it is an instrument that you invest in when you're more frightened, though. It is an instrument when you believe that countries are debasing their currency, debasing their currency by excess deficits, and some countries are. I believe we have countries where you're frightened of your everyday existence, and if you have an opportunity to invest in something that is outside your country's control, then you can have more financial control. And so I'm a major believer that there is a role for Bitcoin in portfolios. I believe you're going to see that as one of the asset classes that we all look at. I look at it as digital gold, as I said before, and I do believe there's a real need for everyone to look at it as one alternative to, I would say, the optimism that I have in the world. If you want to hedge hope, Bitcoin is not an instrument for hope unless you're hopeful you're going to make a lot of money on it. But I look at it as a vehicle in which you're expressing your financial acumen in something that you're more frightened of the world, you're more frightened of your existence. And I believe there's a great industrial use for it. And I think a lot of people are missing that.
I couldn't agree more. I changed my mind about it when you did. You admit.
Oh, boy. Well, there you have it. There's your signal right there. And you talk about a power broker that really runs the world and behind the scenes. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink is one of them. There's no question. Now, what's interesting about all of this is the pushing of the cattle and the masses to understand that you're going to want to have exposure to Bitcoin. And when the markets collapse, you're going to hear Larry Fink shove this right up the flagpole. I told you. You watch. Tokenized U.S. Treasuries could reach $3 billion by the end of the year. This is from Securitize. Shout out to Carlos Domingo there, who has been working with the Biddle Fund with BlackRock. As the strategy laid out by Securitize and BlackRock, they intend to provide diversification for crypto ecosystem to access U.S. Treasury yield without needing to leave the blockchain ecosystem, which I believe is what we're about to see with the real USD also. So this is super, super exciting to me because the idea of not having to leave the XRP ledger with my portfolio, my finances, my financial existence is pretty exciting to me. And this just reminds me of where the world's going. Everything is about to be tokenized. That's why Larry Fink is telling everybody Bitcoin's digital gold. It's coming. Asset tokenization today and tomorrow. Just some numbers I wanted to highlight here in the top of this. Estimated worth of asset tokenization today is as much as $3.5 billion. So you can see it's nothing more than a drop of water in a bucket at this point. And with projections that could reach $16 trillion just over the next 6 years by 2030. The tokenized market is wide open for business, ladies and gentlemen. And as soon as we get that legislation from this pro-crypto presidential ticket, watch out. Hello. And the SEC has just given preliminary approval to the at least 3 Ethereum ETF issuers to start trading Tuesday, next Tuesday. This is going to ignite the market even further, ladies and gentlemen. Eric Bokunis comes in and updates, says Nate's instincts were right. Hearing SEC finally gotten back to issuers today, asking them to return final S1 on Wednesday. And it says here, including fees, and then request effectiveness on Monday after close for a Tuesday 7/23 launch. This provided no unforeseeable last-minute issues, of course. Shout out to Eric Balkunis for that. Amalai says not only is the Ethereum ETF launched soon on Tuesday, July 23rd, she goes on and says, I believe the next ETF to launch will be an XRP-ETH. And I say, if she's right about it being XRP-ETF being next, I say it may be coming from BlackRock. And then we see this. Oh, boy. All aboard? Yeah. Whale alert here. $1 billion worth of USD Tether has been minted from the Tether Treasury, ladies and gentlemen. And every time we see this, not long after, we usually see Bitcoin go pretty crazy. But things are changing. I want you to listen to this clip here, and there's 2 clips that I have here, and this one is going to deal with Robinhood, the Bitstamp acquisition, and that there's some changes coming here. And we saw Ripple made 2 exits out of the companies they were in recently, which was Bitstamp, which was just acquired by Robinhood, and Tranglo, which is a bit of a surprise to us all. But take a listen to this right here, and then I have something for you.
Updated Ripple investment exits and a couple of the points that they hit on. Remember, Bitstamp was an exit, probably due to the Robinhood acquisition, but you also could kind of see there were some other things they exited out of, including MoneyGram and Tranglo. So are they prepping for what could be a very interesting time? And remember, Robinhood buys Bitstamp. This was a $200 million deal. It was a bit of a surprise. So how is this all connected? And is this connected? I think when you look at some of the strategic things that are playing out, it could get pretty interesting, including a possible listing right here, rumors of a relisting on XRP over on Robinhood. This could happen as early as next month in August. I think that would be another huge move on XRP. Further out here, I want to talk.
And there you go. Now let me bring it now. USD Tether's printed 1 billion. And Ripple pulled out of Tranglo and Bitstamp in their positions. But reminder, Visa Direct further expands with Temenos, which is absolutely using the XRP ledger and Ripple's tech stack. Neum Ripple payments below settles through Visa Direct. Temenos is using Ripple's technology in their payment stack. Temenos and Visa join forces to simplify cross-border payments for banks. Visa Direct facilitates real-time cross-border domestic payments, reaching billions of endpoints in over 190 markets and 160 currencies. Going further here, got the Neum payout list into real-time settlement systems. Neum utilizes XRP through Ripple payments. And as you can see below, they're using Visa Direct as a method as well. So you see it all listed right here on the page. Loving all of this. There's your information through Visa Direct. And India, which has huge connections as well. This is just super exciting. I wanted to show you this so you don't freak out about Ripple pulling out of the Bitstamp deal or the Tranglo deal. There's other implications and things going on here. It doesn't have to be a bad thing at all. But I want you to take a listen to this now about USD Tether and everything that is to come.
Look at this tweet, because this is where it gets interesting, because this is MiCA enforcement, stablecoin approaches. Next Monday onwards, you're going to see a lot of the EU now delisting what's happening on Tether, including, guess what, Bitstamp already delisted. Back to the Robinhood acquisition. Is this something that maybe Robinhood is making way for an XRP or a Ripple stablecoin playing into this? Because remember, Tether's still large percentage of the market share overall. If you look at the current status in terms of market cap, next up would be USDC, of course. But I think this is could be a huge opportunity for what's going to happen with the Ripple stable token.
I think that's a great point. And you know, listen, there. And I have made this point and I've asked this question. I don't know the answer. will there be something very different about the stablecoin that Ripple is about to launch? Is it going to be pegged to a Federal Reserve note? Is it going to be pegged to a U.S. Treasury note? Is it going to be somehow backed differently than we've currently seen in the structure of backing reserves for stablecoins? I don't know the answer, but I'm excited to find out. Deutsche Bank owns DWS, and they announced the launch of the company as a part of their wider plan to go live with the new Euro stablecoin next year, making a significant step for the European financial sector, considering DWS manages assets worth almost €1 trillion, 941 billion. Deutsche Bank. See, this is where the market is going to look very different very soon. Remember, the first leg of MiCA regulations for 27 nations in the EU went into place July 1st. The second wave of those regulations are going to go in on December 30th, the end of this year. This market's about to look much different because as Deutsche Bank is stepping into this market, you're about to see the entire financial system step into this market. And when they do, we're seeing similarities here. As XRP Resurrected P. Rowe says, XRP continues the chart trend of 2017, and so does Bitcoin. Will hit all-time high, and people will be excited at that time. Bitcoin goes through the adjustment, takes a break. When Bitcoin loses strength, XRP rises, and XRP Bitcoin chart rises like a dragon. Expect the unexpected. And this is what you're seeing here. 2017, right? Bitcoin, all-time high. You see the shape, the pattern. He's seeing the similarity here. 2024, and you can see the time we're looking at and where this looks very similar to that time frame again. Looking at 2014, 2016, 2017 here, you can see where we're at, and the chart looks very similar to where we're at here, and projecting we could see another breakout like we did in 2017. Again, there's no guarantee. These are, indicators. They're not guaranteed predictions, right? But with that, Armando Pantoja says here, XRP is absolutely going to $20, he believes. The recent explosive breakout above the upper Bollinger Band confirms it for him, which is this right here over top of that band, right? He says, with this kind of momentum, it's not a question of if, but when. Get ready for liftoff. Well, I can tell you, Armando, we're ready. Bags are packed over here, and not just mine. Everybody who's hearing this, bags are packed, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do this. You can come to digperspectives.com, and you can join the DPMG and get the Freedom Zone for free. Private weekly live stream, as well as groups and courses, lessons to gap fill your knowledge. And right now we're working on showing people how to use automated market makers on the XRP ledger. Come on in. I hope you'll join us. Click the link below to do so, and we'll see you inside. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. Come on in.